everybody, welcome back. So my name is Sarah. If you're new here, welcome. So today we are going to finally be going through my yard and checking out what I've been doing. I've been working for a couple months and everything has finally kind of come together enough to show you guys. So I thought I would go through and let you guys look around. So let's go check it out. Okay, so it really is a very beautiful morning here in Southern California. It's supposed to get pretty warm today, like in the 90s. Hello, January. But anyway, so look at, this is one of my favorites. It's a little Mammillaria plumosa, and he is starting to bloom. Look at that. So that one's all blooming very nicely. And then he's just popping out. So cute. I really like that. And then this is some type of euphorbia, I think. I'm not sure, to be honest. And then really cute. I got some nice rock that I've been using on everything. Have little donkey tails. It looked a little bleached from the sun. It was a really hot summer and some stuff didn't fare so well. My crescent echeveria, it's not echeveria, sorry, it's a sunburst aeonium. Look at that, so pretty. I don't know what happened here, but he definitely got some rot when we had some rains of some kind. I've gone through and kind of cleaned it all out. I have no idea how that's gonna work, but time will tell. And then the other really sad thing is my cat just went on a little running spree and completely, see right there, broke off. I'm pretty sure that's gonna split. I'm not quite sure what to do. I'm thinking maybe if I just cut it off here and I can just reroot this, which I'm kind of thinking is my best bet. But if anybody has any ideas, please comment below. But there's my sunburst aeonium crested, really pretty. I've had him for probably over a year now. And I don't know what happened this year. 2020 happened and some of my plants did not fare so well. But anyway, and then we're just gonna start up here. So I basically repotted up all of my pots. So everything's refreshed and new, and they just needed a lot of TLC because I think a lot of these were about 2 years old. So they just needed some new breath of life. So we have a little aeonium with a little jade. I think this is a golem. My really cool lithops, which I know some people don't like them. This one's not looking so hot, but these ones are really great. This little guy, I'm not 100% sure what he is. He's very fuzzy and he really doesn't do much. He just hangs out here. I had him in the front yard in another pot and I moved him. Here's some little Stapelias. I had to get some new ones. My old ones up and died for no apparent reason. These are all just little cuttings I put in. So these are a little, what are they? I think they're a type of Kalanchoe. They're a Kalanchoe tomentosa, little panda plant. They have white versions, and this is a chocolate soldier version. Here's some little fuzzy echeverias, but like I said, this was little. And then this is a type of Pachypodium. I'll go ahead and put down what it is below because I forget what it's called, but it's a newer one. I just got it, but I'm pretty sure it's a type of Pachypodium. Look at this little euphorbia. So this is a euphorbia medusa's head. Super cute. Those are not succulents. Those are little climens, I think they're called. But they're really pretty. So they've been here since about, I think got them like early December. So they've been doing really well. They're more of a house plant. Sometimes people put them inside, but I tend to put most of my stuff outside. There's some more crested. So this is another crested sunburst aeonium. I have another crested echeveria, really liking the red. Another crested echeveria. This one, these little tiger jaws are looking really good, and look, he's about to bloom. I've had the worst luck with mealybugs this year, and I have a whole batch of really gorgeous tiger jaws that the mealybugs just came in and just decimated the whole area before I had time to blink, it seemed. Anyway, so then down here, trying to hide the hose, that I need to get a new hose because it's old and stiff. But anyway, so we have these really cute, so that right there is a mangave. And it's getting little, I'm trying to do a better job of getting everything up off the ground because I have horrible snails here. As you can see, the snails here, I'm assuming this is snail damage, have just eaten everything around here. So I'm trying to keep everything up off the ground, so at least they have to do a little bit more work to get there. But anyways, this is one of my new purchases. I love these little rainbow cactus. They're so cute. And there's a little Kalanchoe copper spoons, also known as Kalanchoe orialis. Very fun. And then, so I have, this is all west facing. Behind me is the west, so facing east. So it gets a lot of sun. Directly during the winter will not be a big deal, but during the summer I do need to move my plants to a little bit more shade. This is all just a bunch of cuttings I put in probably a couple months ago. I really love these little woolly. So the more wool they get on these, the more sun they're getting. So it's a kind of form of protection, which I just think is really cool. There's another little mangave, which is from the other plants. So this right here is the saddest looking ponytail palm you've ever seen. I don't know if you've seen all my videos, but one of my first videos I did potting up some ponytail palms, and this was a smaller version, and he looks horrible because my cat has played with him too much and I didn't realize it. There's a little propeller plant, and then down here we have the aloe cameronii, which is super nice and stressed. That's why he's all red. And there's another aloe in there and some form of agave. Some of this stuff was taken from the front yard, which was not getting enough sunshine and just needed some more TLC, like that little aloe that's not looking so great. But he'll perk up once he comes out into the daylight. My little barrel planter full of echeverias, which is always super fun. Petalanthus bracteus. And then up here I have, it's a little niche in that sunny shade time, but there's another copper spoons, which is looking cute. Now the sun is coming out. I was trying to get in here before the sun came, but so here's a bunch of other, like I said, this was all cuttings I was doing. They're looking really nice. And then this was another plant I had planted up a while back. This is this is a cotyledon right here. So these are the cotyledon tomentosas, not to be confused with the Kalanchoe tomentosas. So they're nice and fuzzy. Over there, those are the Echeveria's ruby slippers, which I'm really a fan of. They're nice and fuzzy. I tend to like the fuzzy stuff. There's a little Dudleya right here. Some more Echeverias. I got that plant stand for Christmas, so that was a brilliant, nice present this year. So here is your the panda plant, or the Kalanchoe tomentosa. Let's see here. Let me just pull it out of the sun so you can see it better. Nice and fuzzy. There's a white version that we're going to be able to see over on the other side. So yeah, Kalanchoe tomentosa, and there is the cotyledon tomentosa. So if anyone wants to know tomentosa, that's basically talking about the fuzziness of the plant. Tomentum is a layer of matted woolly down on the surface of a plant. So I would say any plant name that has tomentosa or tomentum in the name means it's going to be a fuzzy plant. If you're wanting plants for a petting zoo, as we call it here, those are the perfect ones to choose. Here we have, I love how the sun just kind of catches it. It looks so pretty. So we have the variegated jade, and then we have some aeoniums back there that are just coming out of dormancy, so they're going to be opening up fairly soon. Like I said, there is, look at how the sun catches that. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness, I just love that. That's just gorgeous. I just love how he's all nice and red and stressed. There's my little herb patch of mint and basil. And that's the extent of my little herb patch. I'm trying to get some more actual vegetables and whatnots, but. And here is the Euphorbia leucadendron. Here's some little crassulas. This whole arrangement in here, I haven't done any top dressing yet, but it's a lot of cuttings. Like, for example, all of these crassulas that are blooming right now, they were literally from cuttings, and then they bloomed, and they're still cuttings. Like, some of them don't even have roots yet. So very hardy for sure. Okay. And then over here, we're still in the shade. And these are, let's go low first. We got these, I forgot, oh yeah, these are Euphorbia grandiflora. So this is the white version. This one is supposed to be a red version, but I don't know if it's going to have red flowers or just because the thorns are red. We'll find out. It hasn't actually bloomed, so I'm not quite sure. But Euphorbia grandiflora. And this one is, I always forget its name, and this is why I leave these in here so I can remember. It's a mesembythium. Oh yeah, it is. It's just a mesembythium. I'm not quite sure what type of mesembythium it is, but there he is. My little barrel of some Versaoniums and some sad looking string of pearls. This pot used to bloom, the string of pearls did so much better when it got more shade, but it hasn't been getting a lot of shade. And then I have some more of the crinkly jade and ruby slippers. These are so, okay, so this is all cuttings. I had a whole bunch of ruby slippers that had just kind of definitely stretched out a lot and were getting super leggy. So I just cut all their tops off, and that was probably, I would say, mid-November. So there's their little roots. So we're in January now, so about 2 months. Come on, focus. There you go. So anyway, it just takes time, and they'll come out of it. I have another ponytail palm here, and this is what I would definitely recommend. If you guys have cats, I need to move him. I didn't realize this, but see how this is all limp? The cat just loves to play with ponytail palms, and that's how my other one looks so sad, is it basically pulled the whole thing out of its pot, and it didn't like that, needless to say. So I think it's just too much fun for them. They just get too excited to see all this foliage to play with, and they play with it, and this is what happens. So I'm going to be moving all my ponytail palms out of the way of the cat. Okay, so up top is some of my favorite arrangements. I have this, which I kind of think one of my subscribers actually identified this for me. It's the Dancing Bones, or Hatoria salicornoides. I hope I said that right. I will be listing that name below, but really cute. I think they prefer the shade more, but I have him in the back and he's been doing okay. He's just not green. He's like that nice pretty lime color. This was one of my first arrangements, and he's still going strong. So this is one of the few plants I didn't uproot. Everything else in this entire yard, I pretty much pulled everything out and completely redid it. But him, I figured I'm just gonna leave him alone. So I got some little baby toes. I'm not quite sure what the rest of these are, but they're really doing well, so I decided to leave them alone. This little is mostly cuttings. So some of them look a little sad just because of that. But also the mealybugs, like I said, mealybugs have been so bad this year. One of the only things that fared just fine was this little kitten paws. In fact, he's blooming right here, I think, if I can. Yep, there he is. So they do bloom, and they're really pretty, and they're so fuzzy. I think everyone needs some little kitten paws in their life. It makes everything better. And this is an Irish bouquet. It's a type of aeonium, so it's aeonium Irish bouquet. Really pretty. They do bloom. And this, I love these echeverias. They have that nice little warty virus on them, which is a really good thing, in my opinion. Doesn't hurt the plant, it looks amazing and it's so pretty. And it's kind of funny because it comes and goes. So I had them all on this plant when I bought it, and then they kind of went away for a couple plants, and then other plants came in and they got it. So I really like that. This is a little cholla that decided to hop onto my boots when we were out walking in the desert, and I decided that he wanted to come home with me because those things, they need to be stuck in a pot far away from people. They're as deadly as they look, they're even deadlier. Yes, literally just walking, and next thing you know, I look down and he's just grabbed onto my boot. And then this is where I had a whole beautiful patch of tiger jaws, and like I was saying, the mealybugs just took over this area, and so they were starting to get into my fairy tale cactus, and they're even they're a little bit on the mammillarias. So I've been spraying them, and finally I just took this whole thing out because it wasn't getting any better, and I decided, you know what, we'll just have to put some new ones in there when I get them because I don't want them infecting everything else. But yeah, they were so bad this year. I know. I have been thinking, I've been hearing all these people talk about, oh, the bugs, this and that, and I was like, I don't have any problems with bugs. I must be doing so amazing. No, I was just really lucky. So this year, 2020 was the year of mealybugs and spider mites and all those bugs that you've heard of, and they just took out some of my favorite plants. But you know, that is just the way it goes. Okay, let's go check out my shed that I've been working on. So over here I have a potting shed. It's not a potting shed. I call it the scary shed because it was scary. I was working over the summer, and I've mostly cleaned it out. I want to paint it and look cute, but so here we go. I've kind of arranged some stuff over here. So over here we have the Charodopsis candidissimus. These are one of my favorite plants. They're from South Africa. They are summer dormant, so you don't want to water them at all during the summer, and they can handle water, just rainwater, during the winter. So I really barely water them. They're really great for a low maintenance water type arrangement, or even in the yard. So that's my plan, is to put them in the yard. But so they're just gonna be coming out of dormancy fairly soon. But I just think they're one of the coolest plants. They're part of the kind of the ice plant family, but I just think they're just really, they have a lot of character in my opinion. And let's see here. So over here, I just put in some little hodgepodge. I have some more of the panda plant, the Kalanchoe tomentosa. This is the white version, as opposed to the chocolate soldier, which is the brown version, but very fuzzy. The cat had recently pulled this whole thing up. I came out this morning actually to find it laying on the ground. And this is all just cuttings from the yard, some little watch chain, like a poitioides, and that's all cuttings too. So this is a whole cutting section, and it's a really cute. So actually, you can find this at the dollar store. I'm not sure if they still have them, but they're just 3 stackable, and it's a great way to kind of be open, show off all your arrangements, and still. So it's a good place to just kind of have some soil that you can just put little cuttings in it when you need it. And then I have this little shelf unit over here where, oh, there's a nice, gorgeous golem. I love those golems. Little turtle full of different Haworthias. Kind of refreshed him. This is another Charodopsis candidissimus with a little woolly opuntia and a couple other things that I kind of forgot what they were called. But I don't ever water him. He just hangs out and gets his moisture from what little moisture we get. Let's see here, in here. Oh, so this one arrangement, I think this is probably a couple years old now, maybe a year, but he is just so awesome. I don't know, if you look back in my other videos when I did this, I forget what I called him. I'll link him down below. But these were just super teeny tiny, and I don't think this one even existed. And I mean, they were just like little marbles, and now they're just big and very, anyway. They are awesome. They're one of my favorite plants. I love, 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 why can't I think of the words? Honestly, I don't know about you guys, but when I start talking in videos, all names just escape me. Like the simplest names, like ponytail palm. I sat there for like 10 minutes to try to think of the name. Anyway, it'll come to me as soon as I stop focusing on this. And then over here, so let me back up a little bit. So this is just where I'm leaving all of my little plants that I just need to pot up. They're kind of more like specimen plants, which I really have mostly do like arrangements in pots, but there's some that I just think are really cool and I've been wanting to just get little specimens. So I think I just want to go get a bunch of little small terracotta pots and plant them all up individually and put them, I don't know where, but they are looking really, so this one's really fun. He had a bloom that has since been spent, so I need to cut it off, but this one's really cute. Astrolba spiralis. Then we have this. Pine cone cactus, which he does look like a pine cone. Like it almost is, it looks fake. Really. That's just a sad looking plant that needs to be taken care of. Here's a little mammillaria with this little fuzzy. Here's a Haworthia, which is really cute. Here's a type of agave. I think it's, I forget what it's called. Queen Victoria. Very small one. Will probably take a very long time, but he's already got little babies in him. And then down here was, I did a whole plant haul. They're still sitting here of these little guys. This guy in the back, I'm really sad about him. This was a casualty of 2020. So this is the lifesaver plant with a weed in it. And they're supposed to be green. So he's obviously very stressed. I don't know why he was stressed. They were super happy. I've had it a couple years. It's bloomed every year. It did amazing. And then this year it just died. Well, he's not dead, but he's definitely not happy. So he was one of my favorite because I don't know if anyone's had a lifesaver plant. Their blooms are some of the most interesting blooms I've ever seen. So I'm hoping, I kind of broke him apart and just sitting him in some soil and hoping he decides to live. This, I like this little guy. I forget what it's called. Let's find his name. It's a type of mammillaria. It's a thimble cactus. And then up here, so this is Euphorbia senoclata. And he's very spiky. I'm pretty sure he's on in nature. I don't think he would look so cool because I think they're just like a big, spiky, creepy looking plant. But I think as a small little specimen, he just looks really interesting, and he is very spiky. When they start turning white, that's when they kind of, like in my experience, I had one that turned white and he died. That's where I cut him off right there. I kind of thought the plant was a goner, but then after I cut him off, the rest of them seemed okay. So. And then this one's really, let's see here. So then we have this. Got little kind of spikes at the end, but not too spiky, more like, it's just very interesting. So like I said, I'm wanting to kind of plant these up and just have more of a specimen garden. This right here, I'm very excited about actually. So let me turn him so you can tell. See how he's nice and thick? That's because he was growing off of my my crested aeonium in the back. And when you do have the crested ones and you want them to keep crested, if they start throwing off normal offshoots, you really want to cut those off, because then the plant will be forced to give back its energy to the crested part and not all of it on the good part. So I cut him off, I would say, in November when I started doing these projects. And he's already rooting. So this would kind of make me think I can definitely just cut off that crested broken part from the cat and he'll be okay. And that's another crested aeonium that had done. So this is all crested aeonium cuttings. Even that little bit in the back, he's rooted now too. So that actually made me quite happy. Okay, so there's the backyard. Let's go check out the front yard. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you the scary shed. Okay, so I think, okay, it won't look as scary because I cleaned out all the stuff and all the dirt and the cobwebs, and this was full of stuff and it was just creepy. And if I have it, I'll insert some video of me cleaning this thing out because I think I didn't erase it. But so, it was just it's just this really hodgepodgey place that's dark and creepy and cobwebby and yeah, like literally, who knows what's in here. Anyway, so I cleaned this all out. I'm hoping to repaint it because it's very cute, I mean useful. I have my screen, some shelving for stuff, but so yeah, I need some new flooring because I kind of feel like I may or may not fall through this. But anyway, so there's the scary shed. It doesn't look as scary as it used to because it's cleaned up, but the raccoons used to get in there, so I found raccoon mess. It's gross. There's my tomato plant, which is still blooming, and I have tomatoes. Let's go check it out. I'm so excited because that needs to be replanted, but look at this. So these are ready to eat. This variety is, when they're orange, they're ready to go, and they're some of the most amazing cherry tomatoes I've ever eaten in my life. But yeah, so we're in January, and this whole top part is still going strong with even like more blooms ready to go, which is interesting because this whole bottom part is completely dead and looks like you should pull the whole plant out. But we don't get much frost up here. That is the saving grace. So that's why I think this has survived. And have some tomatoes. Right. Okay, so done with the backyard. Let's go check out the front yard. I have way more stuff in the backyard than the front yard, so there's not as much in the front yard, but I figured this is a nice little January 2021, here's how things started. So let's go check it out. Oh, I forgot. So here's a couple more things in the backyard that I totally forgot about. So I have a Petalanthus bracteus that I am wanting to plant in the ground. I think I might be planting him along this side. He, I think, was getting too much sun where I had him before, which was over there, because he just got sun all day long. And at least here he would only be getting it when the sun comes over here about 2 or 3 o'clock. So I'm wanting to do that. And then this was just an arrangement that I had done up from cuttings, which are still looking really great. That was probably a year ago also. So, and by a year, I mean 2 years ago. Somehow 2020 doesn't even count because I didn't do much gardening. I didn't get many plants and I wasn't out here very much. So, yeah, we're not counting 2020 as a year. So when I say last year, I mean 2019 most likely. Anyway, all right, let's go check out plants in the front. Okay, so here we are in the front yard. I just recently, oh, there's my tricolor. Look at her. She is gorgeous. She's one of my few she's of plants, but I just recently went through and cut out all of her dead leaves. She does require a little bit more watering than other plants, but I still don't probably water her nearly as much as she would like it. But she's super pretty, and she's just one of my favorites, and I just love, I mean, how could you not like this? Just gorgeous. Over here we have, it's kind of dark, but that's the whole point of this. I am kind of doing an experiment on what plants can take really deep shade. These are all euphorbias, gasteria, sansevieria, and that are really well known to be very hardy and can tolerate low light. So that is my plan, is just to kind of see how well these do, which ones kind of reach for the sun more than others. Vent for my dryer. Anyway, so yep, there's my experiment. We will see. what, that probably is not the best place for it, because this little, I think it's a Sansevieria cylindrical. These are kind of spiky. I normally have him in a safer place, but I was moving him somewhere for filming, and I thought, he'll look good there. But he's not the best entryway plant, because like I said, he's a little spiky. And this is kind of where I put my indoor plants. So I have a Hoya. I really like Hoyas. So I'll take him inside, I'll take him outside, I'll give him sun, because I will say whenever you have this variegated, they do need more sun to keep their variegation. So I usually like to leave him out in the sun a little bit more than he's getting in here. But I have some different air plants. I love this one. Trichoceros brigisi. But isn't he so cute? Here, this little air plant that I had thrown in here. He looks like he's waving at you. And then he was getting a little offshoot. Where was it? Oh, right there. See that little wound, I guess, for lack of a better word? But I didn't want him doing that because I liked this look. So I just cut it off. And he is getting roots. So he's not rooting into the soil at the moment, but he's at least getting roots. Anyway, so I'm just leaving him in there. Let's see here. Oh, so this is a pumpkin I did. So this was in October, mid-October, I would say. This is when you know succulents are very, look, he's blooming. What is it that's blooming? Oh, the Fred Ives. So that's a Fred Ives, and he is blooming from a cutting. So they're very hardy plants because all he's done is glued in there. I cut him off and glued him in. And I forget, this is a house plant that I put outside. I knew what it was at one point. I don't remember anymore. Oh, but this one I do know. One of my few plants I remember the name. So this up here I had hanging is a Crinkle 8 Jade. Not Jade, it's a Hoya. But I think he's really cool. I like the little crinkly leaves. Anyway, really pretty. So I just have him hanging around. And then down here, I had more plants here, and I moved most of them in the backyard because they just don't get enough light here. And in fact, I'm even thinking of moving this really cool donkey tails, which is just, can we just appreciate that? That is just amazing. He's just not getting enough sunlight. See how he's reaching towards the sun? And I'm thinking of moving him to the back on the scary shed area and put him there because he's just not very, he's happy, but I would like him better if he's going straight down instead of, reaching west. And in fact, I probably will not be leaving this little hybrid, I think it's a Graftivaria of some kind in here. I just needed a spot to put him. But anything that's got a nice rosette form of any kind, if you don't give them enough sunlight, they'll definitely start reaching toward the sun, and I'm not a fan of that. I love this ponytail palm I got from a friend for my birthday, and it's got a bunch of little offshoots inside of it, so that's really cool. So like I said, this away from the cat. And there's little Hoya carrii, which are interesting. Like the old, these are older leaves. So like these leaves were there when I first bought it. And then this polyhole offshoot from, let's say, well, probably from here to this whole thing is new leaves. And by new, I mean, they're like a year old. But they don't ever form that cute little heart. They're just kind of round. So I'm not sure if it's because they need more sun. They probably need more water because I kind of forget to water this thing. But I don't know if anyone knows. See, even the ones up at the top, see, those are all new. And by new, I mean post-nursery buying. But they don't make those cool little hearts. So if anybody knows anything about them, please comment below. If I need more water, more light. He's been getting a lot, well, maybe he hasn't got a lot of light. I don't know. Anyway, he did get a lot of light for quite a while and didn't seem to make a difference. And then, oh, here is another pumpkin, which I really like him. So this year when I did pumpkins, I decided to basically use my favorite plants that I liked. So that way when it came time to disassemble your pumpkin, I actually cared about the plants that were in here. And, oh, that one's still, that's kind of hard to come out. So like this little Echeveria, these are, not Echeveria, these are well, it's a hybrid, it's like a form, but it's Fred Ives. And I have all that little crinkly jade I really like. little sedums of kind, but mostly I did Fred Ives and crinkly jade because those are some of my favorite plants, and that way I can just make some nice little arrangements. Okay, let's go check out, oh, there's only a couple things in the front yard to even look at, to be honest, but let's go check those out real quick. Okay, so this is the first one that is just kind of my pride and joy at the moment. Let me just stand back so you can get a full view. Don't mind the messy yard in the back. But this is called a Kalanchoe Jurassic Park. No, Jurassic Kale. But I think Jurassic Park sounds more exciting. Anyway, look at these leaves. They are just the coolest, most interesting thing ever. And then they just started blooming. So this is their bloom, which I can't, supposedly I think, here, let me move this dead pump around. They're supposed to get like little pink flowers that comes out of these little boxes, but just look at this, right? Those are just, I just think those are the most interesting looking blooms I've ever seen. And if you look down here, there's are happening right there. So these apparently can get like 6 to 9 feet tall, and so I'm kind of indecisive whether I want to plant him in the ground or I just want to keep him in a pot, because apparently they definitely are susceptible to sun damage and burn, which definitely, if you look at the tips, he's gotten, and he's been kind of in the shade. So I'm trying to figure out a good place to put him, which might be in the back closer to the shed. And so he's, like I said, he's one of my favorites. Then over here, look at that. I know jades are pretty common, but you can't help it when flowers are blooming. They just look so pretty. So let's just admire the beautifulness. And then you have the little bees that are going to be coming pretty soon. And it's really pretty just to sit out and look at my little sitting area over there. I can just sit and watch the little bees and the hummingbirds come. It's very pretty. And then over here, so this is the one thing I actually was able to accomplish over quarantine, was I did this little mound, and I like some of it, and some of it I'm like, didn't work out, but that's okay. So first of all, I think this is hilarious. See these echeverias? They're all bloomed, and then they're all reaching towards the sun, and the sun definitely comes up towards the behind me towards the right. So it's kind of interesting. Plants know what they're doing. Anyway, I think this is my favorite part of this whole arrangement. I just like how these echeverias, they just look like they're like cascading down like a little waterfall. I just think that's really pretty. So that's one of my favorite things that happened here. It wasn't really planned. I just planted them, and they just kind of grew out and then grew around the rocks. And that's where, you know, in nature, that's how they grow, is they do grow amongst rocks. So really, I think it's best to try to plant your plants in a way of where they are like in real life, in their natural habitat. So a nice little rock echeveria garden is kind of, if you're going to plant them outside, because you do have to be careful that they are more susceptible to burn. But yeah, so that is one of my favorite things that happened out here. And then also this is turning out really cute too. Over here, this is filling in really nicely with this crinkly jade. And then above it, unfortunately, I don't know the name, so if somebody does, please let me know. He was looking really, really sad when I first planted him. And we had a huge heat wave, and everything just kind of up and wanted to die in this whole arrangement. And I just said, okay, well, we'll let it ride and see what happens. And he's really come back really well. Like you can see right here, this is burn from this past summer. But, you know, he's got new growth. It's really cute. He even has a new little baby in the back. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that little garden tour. Hoping this year to kind of get back into gardening and kind of get some stuff done. I have a lot of plans and ideas, and I'm really hoping to be able to bring you guys along on doing them. I figure if I talk about them, I'm more likely to actually do them. And yeah, so Uh, I swear, I don't know about you guys if anyone else makes videos, but talking to the camera is the most weirdest thing ever, and I keep thinking that eventually this will feel normal, because some people just do it so naturally and you're like, oh my gosh, how do you do this? And I'm just like, this is so difficult. Anyway, one day maybe I will get there. Anyways, well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment below with any questions or comments or ideas, and appreciate you guys coming along, and we will see you guys again on the next video. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.